Hey guys, so good to be with you today. It's been a few months since conference. Trust that you're all doing really well, that your body, soul and spirit are all prospering, your families, that our church is doing well. Just got one little thought I want to share with you today. I've just shared a message on Judges chapter 4, the story of Deborah and Barak. And I love this story, and all of us would know it as Deborah comes as the prophetess to Israel and prophesies over Barak about what God wants Barak to do. And Barak's automatic response is so much like us sometimes. It's I'll do it only if you come with me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there are certain places that you want your wife to come with you. Like if you've ever been to Victoria's Secret, then I trust that you have your wife with you, because going there by yourself is really cringy, and there are actually names for people that, especially men, that hang out in Victoria's Secret without their wives. But you go with your wife, but to go to battle with a woman and ask her to come with you is a little bit of a mummy's boy. But the thing that struck me was this, is that Barak didn't have an issue believing that God wanted to do big things. His challenge was that God wanted to do big things through him. And I think sometimes for us as leaders, as pastors, I know that we know that God wants to heal, that God wants to see people come to know Christ. We know that God wants to grow the church, but sometimes we need that revelation, not just in our head, but in our hearts, that God actually wants to do it through us. And Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinks in his heart. So it's possible to believe in your head what is right, but not actually believe it in your heart. And I just want to encourage you guys, as the story goes on in Judges chapter 4 verse 14, Deborah begins to unpack this and talks about how the Lord is marching ahead of you, Barak, just to give that confidence that God is marching ahead. And it's a word, I think, for all of us, just to have that confidence again that whatever it may be that God's calling you to, that God's asking you to step up into, maybe it's starting a new ministry, maybe it's hiring a staff member, maybe it's planting a new location, maybe it's believing again for a full altar on a Sunday to see the church prosper, to financially break through. Whatever it is that God's calling us up to have the confidence that He's marched ahead on our behalf. And who knows what God is doing, the work He's doing behind the scenes for such a time as this. So be encouraged. And let's not all be Baraks that shrink back at our opportunity, but wear that cloak of confidence that God's called us and He's anointed us for such a time as this. Just a reminder that coming up the first week of November is National Others Week. Always a great opportunity to mobilize the church into reaching out and looking out. And so excited. Also, Red Frogs coming up the end of November. Schoolies is back on again. So I really trust that as a church, we're all thinking beyond the four walls on how can we lead our people into making a difference in our community. So trust you guys have a great Sunday, this Sunday coming. Really believing for people to come to know Christ this week. Miracles, people set free, and just that you're going to preach with a fresh fire. So be blessed and can't wait to see you sometime soon.